Mix up. What's he gonna do?
Demon Paw. JeonDDing way behind. He's got the range. He's got to make a range comeback now. Oh, the range gun's
This
gonna
is
hit.
big.
The wall's right there. The wall's right there. What's he gonna do? 50-50. He got blocked. He gets punched right.
Shining Fist. That's not
The
what he
free
wanted.
kick. JeonDDing wins the tournament. JeonDDing was CEO 2018 here in Daytona. The crowd is going wild.
I don't think I've ever seen a spring kick win it like that. An emphatic victory for JeonDDing. Oh my God.
What a tournament.
That was some good ass Tekken.
That was some hella good ass Tekken.
All right, so maybe we should get started. Do you wanna let go of the bag? Do you wanna let go of the bag?
가방을 계속 들고 계실 건가요?
네, 들고 있을 겁니다.
He wants to hold the bag.
You do wanna hold the bag through the whole interview?
끝까지 그러면 들고 계실 거예요?
아니요. 내려놓겠습니다. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, we're agreed. We're agreed, people. God blimey.
Very professional.
Yeah. He is now. Finally. All right, so it's good to see you. First question is about your name, which I'm gonna try and pronounce correctly. JeonDDing.
I think that's
How was that as a pronunciation?
발음이 괜찮았나요?
아주 좋았습니다. 최고예요.
Very good. That's the best I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Come on. All right. So tell me, what does the name mean? Is it a nickname?
네, 전띵이라는 닉네임은 어떻게 생겨난 건가요?
이게 뭐 딱히 이렇게 뜻은 없고요. 그냥 어렸을 때 그냥 그 전으로 시작돼가지고 그냥 붙인 닉네임인데 이게 이제 제가 정말 어렸을 때 친구들도 지금을 저를 그렇게 부르고 있어요. 그래가지고 이 닉네임을 그냥 이렇게 쓰게 됐어요. 딱히 별 뜻은 없어요. 예.
So it doesn't really have a meaning. It's just that my surname, and of course Korean surnames come first, is John. And my friends just put the word ding next to it. And my childhood friends to this day still call me by that nickname. So it just stuck with me.
So does ding mean anything, or is it just a childish thing?
딩이라는 단어는 특히 뜻이 없죠.
네, 아무런 뜻이 없어요.
It doesn't really have a meaning. It just sounds nice, I guess. Yeah.
And that's how it happened, basically. All right, so you got picked up by UYU recently. Tell me why UYU is why is that the team for you?
이제 최근에 UYU란 팀과 합류하게 돼서 철권 활동을 활발하게 하시고 계시는데 처음에 이 소식을 들었을 때는 UYU와 함께 하겠다라는 그런 이유가 있었나요?
그러니까 맨 처음에는 이 팀한테 오퍼가 들어왔을 때 고민을 많이 했어요. 거기서 말하는 게 이제 우리가 내년에 이제 런칭을 할 거고 내년부터 선수를 모아서 팀을 꾸릴 건데 혹시 할 생각이 있냐. 근데 이제 기존에 이제 제가 친한 선수들 같은 경우에는 어느 정도 팀이 있고 그리고 이제 대부분 이제 처음 탄생한 팀 같은 경우에는 아무런 정보가 없어서 맨 처음에 고민을 많이 했는데 우선은 대화를 되게 많이 했어요. 그 앤드류나 진이랑 같이 통역을 해주면서 대화를 많이 하고 이 팀이 이제 저를 이만큼 이렇게 케어를 해줄 수 있겠다라고 생각을 해서 같이 하게 됐고 우선은 팀이
네.
되게 절실했기 때문에 예.
그 모든 게 다 통합해서.
그렇죠.
Yeah, so at the time when they gave me the offer, this was before UYU was known. So this was before they were about to launch their brand.
Yeah.
So in comparison to that, some of my other Korean Tekken players who I'm friends with have already been active as a sponsored player already, and like their team was quite well known, like throughout esports and throughout the fighting game community. It's just that at the time UYU was unheard of, and of course I didn't have any information to research for. But at the same time, it was the time where I really liked to be a part of a team who can support me, and at the same time I can support the team branding as well. So that kind of all came in together. I had a lot of conversations with the administrative team in UYU, and ultimately it felt like they were like genuinely caring, and I definitely thought it was the team that I could have my Tekken career with, and here I am now.
Okay, so that's how you made the decision. So what does it feel like now to be in the team?
그때 많은 고민을 하셔서 이제 결정하셨지만 결정 후에 이제 잘 하신 거라고 믿으신가요?
전 지금 굉장히 만족스럽습니다.
I'm very happy with my current situation with the team and very grateful.
Awesome. So you are. God, I've got so many questions, but I start by saying congratulations on winning CEO, right? What do you feel made the difference that propelled you to win?
일단 CEO 우승하신 거 굉장히 축하드립니다. 이제 그거과 관련해서 어떠한 심정과 어떠한 자세로 임하셔서 그렇게 좋은 성적을 거두시게 된 거 맞나요?
우선은 그 CEO라는 무대를 제가 작년부터 많이 들었어요. 거기서 이제 자기가 틀고 싶은 음악도 틀 수 있고 그 링 자체가 레슬링 무대면서 되게 좀 큰 미국에서 엄청 큰 대회다라고 이제 얘기만 듣고 저도 이제 그 전까지 대회를 제가 개인전을 우승해 본 적이 없어요. 그래서 정말 이번 연도에는 정말 개인전 우승이 정말 간절히 필요했었는데 정말 솔직히 CEO 때 정말 제가 게임을 그때 잘한 것도 있지만 정말 그 대회에서 정말 많은 운들이 저한테 많이 따라줬던 것 같아요. 그리고 이제 저가 첫 우승이어서 되게 제일 기억에 남는 대회인 것 같아요.
So beforehand, I definitely heard of the event called CEO. It was definitely one of the biggest FGC majors, well known for its themed arena of the wrestling ring. And the top 8 players are given a choice to play their own music, have their own entrance and whatever. So like in comparison to other events, it was definitely one of the most dynamic events that I can think of. And yeah, at the time, it was just that I didn't specifically like prepare for CEO, but I had a lot of expectations of what the event can offer me. And at the same time, I think a lot of luck was involved as well for me to get that far and get that victory. And I was really grateful how the team kind of got together and prepped all the things for me before I played my matches. And I'm really happy because while I did perform good enough in previous tournaments, I never like won any, and it's very significant in my Tekken career right now because my first victory happened to be as CEO, which is a great achievement for me.
Yeah. So it feels a little bit like CEO probably would. The character of CEO seems to sort of almost match your character in the way at least US people kind of see you as this very outgoing guy. You're a little bit, got the muscles going on, all that stuff. Did you just feel this immense positivity during the event?
보통 이제 미국 철권 커뮤니티에서 전띵님을 바라보시기에 굉장히 활발하시고 또 이제 좀 피지컬적인 활동을 많이 하시니까 그런 성격이나 그런 게 그때 CEO에서 보여주신 성격가 그게 만들어진 그런 건가요? 아니면은 보통 성격도 원래 그러신가요?
원래 좀 성격이 좀 까부는 스타일이라 막 억지로 만들어내서 하는 거보다는 대부분 다 즉흥적으로 그냥 하는 거기 때문에.
That's pretty much my normal personality as well. I don't really have to make up a persona to be on stage and whatever. I'm usually like that, very active, very bright. I like to see a lot of things in a positive way. And I think I'm very happy that my fans also like that side of me, which I'm glad that is the case at the moment. And hopefully I show more of my positive sides to my fans in the future.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of US fans, particularly for that reason. Have you always had that sort of positive energy, or did that grow over time? Is there a reason for it?
항상 이제 뭐 일상생활 하시면서 긍정적인 마인드로 생활하시나요? 아니면은 그냥 최근에 철권을 하시면서 생기게 된 그런 에너지인가요?
원래 약간 마인드가 약간 긍정적인 마인드예요.
I've been always like that. I just like to see that I'm living in a very happy world, happy everything. So that's pretty much my philosophy for living.
Wow. Okay, so that's probably what you bring to your stream. I know that your stream is talked about and is probably important to you. Do you have a philosophy for your stream?
그리고 이제 철권 외에도 이제 스트리머로서도 활동을 잘 하시는데요. 스트리밍 하실 때도 항상 똑같은 활발한 성격으로 계속 하시는지요? 그리고 추가적으로 스트리밍 하는데 뭐 철권과 같이 해서 그런 캐릭터를 굳이 만들어내거나 그러는 성향은 없으신 거죠? 네.
그런 성향은 없고요. 그 스트림 같은 경우도 대부분 게임을 많이 하고 얘기 많이 하고 뭐 한국 사람들이 많이 하는 것처럼 똑같이 뭐 먹방도 하고 게임을 많이 하는 위주고 뭐 스트림 쪽에서 뭐 개인적으로 뭐 캐릭터를 만들려고 막 그렇게 행동을 하진 않아요. 네.
So yeah, a lot of people do think that, not just myself, but when they watch many streamers, it may seem like they're just creating a character. But what you see is what I am. I'm always like that in terms of my personality. And yeah, as per my streams, I usually do play fighting games. And just like any other streamers, I like to try different things. Sometimes I do like mukbang, which is the social eating streams. As well as sometimes when I'm at the gym, I work out and that. So I try a lot of many different ideas for my streaming content as well.
Cool. We'll talk about some of those things like the gym and so on later on. Let's go back in time a little bit and just I want to ask you about your background in fighting games. Can you just give us a little bit of that background? I know Core Gaming did a video on it. Can you just tell us how you got into Tekken?
예전에 그 코어 A 게이밍의 제럴드 분이 좀 같은 질문 한 것 같아서 좀 걱정되는데 일단 전띵님의 격투 게임 배경에 관해서 물어보고 싶어요. 그러니까
네.
어떤 격투 게임으로 처음 입문을 하셨고 또 얼마나 어렸을 적에 하셨는지. 예.
격투 게임을 맨 처음에 한 거는 어렸을 때 그냥 철권 태그 원이 이제 워낙 오락실이 그때는 엄청 많고 태그 원이 워낙 인기여서 그냥 정말 어렸었거든요. 초등학교 때. 그래서 그냥 그때 조금 하고 그다음에 이제 제가 이제 20살 때 철권 6 BR을 이제 처음 시작했어요. 그래서 맨 처음에는 이제 오락실에 가서 그때 카드를 만드는 개념이 있었는데 그 개념을 보고 굳이 저렇게까지 해야 되나 맨 처음에 이런 생각을 했었는데 이제 어느 순간 저도 이제 카드를 만들고 게임을 시작하게 됐죠. 그래서 게임을 시작한 지 이제 지금 2010년에 시작했으니까 한 8년 정도 철권을 지금 꾸준히 하고 있습니다.
Yeah, so I did start off my first fighting game as one of the Tekken series, which was the first Tekken Tag 1. It was the time when arcades were everywhere, and if you go to a gaming arcade, you would usually see rows of the Tekken Tag 1 machines, and it's very, very popular. Wow. And that was like, a long time ago. That was when I was in my primary school days. Yeah. And then later on, where I tried to kind of get serious was Tekken 6 BR days. But like my kind of perspective on the game take when it came to competitiveness was that's when like the first card system was announced where you can save your data in your player card. And then I was like do you really have to go through all that to like save your records and whatever? Why can't you just play the game and enjoy it, right? But then eventually when I got more and more into it, I had my own game cards and all that, started building up records and win-loss, like the rates and all that. And I think that's when my pseudo-professional career started. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, what I did want to ask is, in the Core Gaming video, you had got serious about Starcraft, and then you had said something along the lines of, my parents had questioned whether this was a good idea. I want to know, did they make you quit? And if that did happen, were you happy? Can you just elaborate on that a little bit more?
전에 제럴드께서 질문하신 것 중에 스타크래프트 관련 질문이 있었는데 그게 이제 그리고 이제 약간 뭐 부모님과도 상의하에 뭐 그런 거 하셨다 그러는데 그럼 부모님의 압박으로 인해서 그거를 그만두신 거까지는 아닌 거.
이게 학교를 다니고 이제 대부분 이제 고등학교 올라가니까 그때부터는 이제 친구들이 또 공부도 하고 그리고 이제 되게 이제 활동적으로 많이 했어요. 뭐 축구라든가 당구라든가 집에서 활동한 거보다는. 그래서 옛날에 같이 게임을 하는 친구도 있었는데 이제 그 친구도 포기를 하고 공부를 하다 보니까 그리고 어느 순간 그 게임에서 벽을 좀 느껴가지고 거기서 이제 조금 뭐라고 해야지? 여기까지인가 생각을 하고 이제 천천히 접었죠.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a pressure from anyone or my parents or anything like that. It was just that era where you're a school kid and you're entering high school. So you gotta kind of and also like I guess in relation to Korean education system, you gotta like study, right? And but I mean even during that time, I had my friends who we played games with. It's just that because of the pressure of having to study was so much, we naturally kind of reduced the number of hours playing the game, and then eventually we kind of stopped. But like as a replacement activity, we did have more physical activities like playing football or playing billiards and stuff like that. And for me personally, I also did kind of hit a wall. Like I thought I plateaued in my skill level, so I thought there's no point in me continuing because I don't think I'll learn anything. So all that together kind of came in together so that eventually I just stopped playing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's actually really interesting. So when you were playing Tekken, you were playing it for fun, I guess. It sounded like if anyone hasn't seen the Core game video, it's very short and it's very interesting. But I wanted to expand on a few points. And so Tekken, you took on as fun. When did it become more serious? And was it a decision, or did it just kind of happen? Were you a natural?
철권을 항상 이제 즐기면서 하시는 걸 추구하셨는데 어느 순간부터 이걸 좀 더 전문적으로 진지하게 해야겠다라는 계기가 있었나요?
그게 이제 작년 라스베가스 에보가 딱 그거였어요. 그러니까 맨 처음에는 제가 이제 대회를 다른 걸 다녔을 때는 일본 대회 팀전만 나갔어요. 5대5 이것만. 그러다가 이제 이제 철권 세븐이 나왔고 한 번은 라스베가스 이게 주위에서 이제 세인트 형이나 JDCR 형이 좀 친한 편인데 이제 해외를 돌아다니면서 TWT 다니고 이제 에보라는 큰 대회도 몇 번 다녀보고 나서 이제 저 무대는 한번 꼭 서보고 싶다. 그래서 이제 작년에 에보를 하고 이제 이 게임을 좀 전문적으로 좀 해보고 싶다라고 마음이 바뀌었어요.
It was not that long ago. It was actually only last year EVO that I decided to actually play seriously. So the story, how that built up was that before I was at EVO last year, the only kind of big stage that I was present at was one of the Japanese tournaments for a Korea versus Japan 5v5 team tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, which was a kind of also a big significant step in my Tekken career.
OCD.
And then that was very popular. You gotta watch that. And at the time, I was always hanging out with other Korean Tekken players such as like JDCR and Saint, and then I did watch them go to the prior EVO stages and then see they perform at top 8s and stuff like that, and then I'm like, I should at least pay a visit to see what the environment is like, to see what all this fuss is about. And I kind of did pretty well last year at EVO, and after I came down from the stage, I thought to myself I should actually try this more seriously. And here I am.
Wild. So were you just playing regularly with JDCR? Were you friends with JDCR and those guys?
잡다님이나 다른 철권하시는 분들과 항상 그럼 게임을 하셨던 그런 사이인가요?
저는 제가 하기 전에는 그 이수 오락실에서 같이 셋이 스트림을 좀 많이 했어요. 오락실에서 플레이스테이션 나오기 전에 그렇게 스트림을 많이 하고 나서, 그리고 이제 우선 세인트 형이랑은 먼저 좀 태그 2 때 많이 친해진 상태였고, 그리고 세인트 형이랑 JDCR 같은 경우에는 이제 둘이 해외대를 많이 다니면서 공유를 많이 한 상태였고, 그리고 이제 주기적으로 셋이 게임을 했던 거는 세븐 FR 아케이드 때 게임을 많이 하고, 그 뒤로는 플레이스테이션 나와서 각자 집에서 많이 했던 편이에요.
So in terms of being with those guys like Saint and JDCR, like we did kind of do an activity where before Tekken 7 was on consoles, when it was originally on arcades for like location tests and whatnot, on the earlier versions, we were at an arcade playing at a cabinet, and then 3 of us were in the camera doing a stream. So that was one of our activities that we did together. And before that, when we were playing Tekken Tag 2, I was playing games with Saint a lot, and then we kind of got to know each other more. And naturally, we also got to speak with JDCR, and then JDCR was the one who originally already was traveling to play tournaments around the world. So he was the one providing us this information about what the FGC in say America is like, or FGC in Europe is like. So I was gaining interest since then. And then when Tekken 7 was introduced in the arcades, that's when we all started to play together. We did streams together, did like online videos and things like that, and then eventually like we ended up as we are now.
Okay, that makes more sense. What I was really trying to get at was like most people are at an average level and then make a jump to serious. But if you're already playing with JDCR and Saint, you're probably already at the right level.
그러니까 이제 보통 느끼는 이런 인터뷰를 하면서 느끼는 점은 즐겜 하시던 분들이 갑자기 급격스럽게 그러니까 대회 성적이 좋은 경우는 굉장히 드문 일이라서 이렇게 게임을 접하셨을 때 이미 세인트 선수나 JDCR 선수랑 같이 하셨던 사이였으면은 그 원래부터 잘하신 건지 아니면 그분들에 의해서 더 성장해 나가신 건지 그게 궁금했어요.
그거는 이제 그 전부터 이제 뭐 코멘터리 같은 거는 이제 뭐 피드백 같은 거는 좀 들었는데 그 전부터는 뭐 이렇게 딱 차이가 나는 게 아니라 대부분 이렇게 비슷한 선상에 있었었어요 게임은.
Yeah. So at the time, like when I think about it now, is that I think I was always at a similar level to them, even for them at the time, like say Saint and JDCR. It's just I guess they developed as a really really good player after they got picked up by their teams. Okay. But at the time when we were all together playing games in an enjoyment level, I think we were always on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so what's been your proudest moment so far? And was it the OCV team tournament when you did the OCV against Japan? Was it CEO or was it something else in your gaming career?
이제 철권 생활을 하시면서 가장 이제 좀 기억에 남았던 그런 현장에 있었던 때는 많은 사람들이 꼽을 거는 그 한일전 그리고 CEO.
네.
근데 그 외에 혹시 뭐 또 있나요?
저는 되게 그 위에 제일 인상이 남았던 게 콤보 브레이커 때가 조금 되게 재미있었어요.
네.
네.
그 탑8 하셨을 때.
네, 탑에 됐을 때 이제 뭐 되게 관중이랑도 가까웠고 그리고 이제 환호도 되게 제가 생각했던 것보다 더 많이 해주고 확실히 응원도 더 많이 해줘서 저는 콤보 브레이커 그 이외의 대회는 이렇게 굳이 따지자면 콤보 브레이커 때가
So other than the two that you mentioned, which is also of course very very significant in my Tekken career, the other event apart from those two was at Combo Breaker recently. I think out of all other tournaments I've been to, Combo Breaker had the stages where it was the closest to the audience, so I could hear their cheers more, like kind of affected my emotions more, and I got into the hype as well.
Okay.
It was a really great experience during that top 8, which was really fun for me as well.
Okay. You're definitely an extrovert because you get your energy from the crowd.
항상 이제 외부적인 이렇게 관중들이 보내는 에너지를 잘 활용하셔서 그런 성격을 무대에서 보여주는 것 같아서 굉장히 긍정적으로 바라보고 있습니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Okay, so what's more important to you? I know this question is so black and white, and it's so unfair. But I want to ask, what's more important to you, winning EVO or winning the Tekken World Finals?
약간 엄마가 좋냐 아빠가 좋냐 같은 질문인데요. 에보 대회를 이기는 것과 철권 월드 투어를 최종 우승하는 것과 어떤 게 더 좋으세요?
당연히 뭐 둘 다 이기면 좋겠지만 우선은 제 이 게임을 시작하게 해줄 수 있는 무대가 이보였기 때문에 저는 이 무대에서 꼭 한번 우승을 해보고 싶어요. 그리고 정말 제가 정말 지금 이제 이번 연도부터 대회를 많이 다녔잖아요. 제가 이렇게 이 대회를 다니면서 느낀 게 정말 이보만큼 그렇게 그 작년에 받았던 그 느낌을 받을 만큼 무대는 정말 이보만큼 이보만한 데가 없다고 생각을 하거든요. 그래서 저는 개인적으로는 이보가 좀 더
굳이 따지자면. So yeah, I mean, winning either one would be very very good, of course. But if I do have to pick one, I definitely have to give one more point to winning EVO. The reason for that is being, like I said before, like the whole thing where I started to play more seriously was at that EVO top 8 stage last year. And I think that played a big role in my future path, and I'm very thankful for that experience. And also, while I toured all around a lot of Tekken tournaments this year, I think the scale of EVO was the biggest out of all. So definitely it would give me that extra significance if I did win EVO.
Okay, it is an awesome tournament, that's for sure. So as a pro gamer, do you feel like there are things that you want to achieve outside of just winning?
프로 게이머로서
네.
그냥 무조건 대회 성적이 좋게 나오는 것 외에 또
네.
다른 거 집중하시거나 다른 목적이 있으신가요?
우선은 제가 프로 게이머 이외에는 뭐 우선은 제가 생각하는 거는 우선은 되게 쇼맨십도 되게 중요하다고 생각을 하고 우선은 외적으로도 되게 중요하다고 생각을 해요. 그래서 이제 제가 맨 처음에 예전에도 인터뷰에 말했듯이 이 게임하는 사람들의 이미지가 우선은 그렇게 막 좋은 지금은 그래도 그나마 좋아진 거지만 그래도 일반 대중들이 느꼈을 때는 우선 게임한다 그러면은 우선은 약간 제가 말했지 뭐 뚱뚱하거나 되게 오타쿠처럼 이렇게 한쪽을 뭐 한다거나 뭐 안경을 썼다거나 되게 좀 그런 이미지가 있잖아요. 그래서 제가 그걸 바꿔주기 위해 가지고 조금 뭐 운동이라든가 외적이라든가 뭐 아니면 옷이라든가 이런 거를 조금 신경을 좀 많이 쓰는 편이고 그리고 제일 많이 신경을 쓰는 게 쇼맨십을 좀 제가 생각했을 땐 좀 많이 쓰는 편인 것 같아요. 네.
So I definitely think the outside things factor in a lot, and I would like to focus on those at the same time while I try to be consistent in my Tekken performance. So some of the things I like to point out is, and I did mention this in my previous interviews as well, like what kind of person I could be in general as a pro gamer that shows to the general audience.
Yeah, like a role model.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people, including myself, say this often, that still to this day, it is getting better, but still to this day, if you present yourself as a pro gamer, you may not receive the best reception from, say, the mainstream media or whatever, which is still a thing, while I think it's definitely softened down in comparison to like earlier like esports days. But because it exists, I do kind of become sensitive on how I look, and also how I act and my behavior, because it'll definitely affect those who are either my followers or those who just have an interest in watching these kind of performances. And speaking of performances, I think showing some sort of personality and having showmanship is very important as well. Especially if I'm on camera, which is an opportunity given if you're at a like a stream stage or at a top 8. So while it's not something, like I said before, it's not like a character that I'm trying to build up, but because I do like to express my positive energy, I try to put it as much as I can when the opportunities are given.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so positive role model, positive energy. That's what I like to hear. All right, let's talk about Tekken. Your main character is Eddy. Why do you play Eddy?
에디를 주로 메인 캐릭터로 사용을 하시는데요. 에디를 고른 뭐 결정적인 이유가 있나요?
이거 대회 때를 말하는 건가요? 아니면 처음에 애들이 시작한
그러니까 대회 주 캐릭터로 사용하시는 이유.
우선은 제가 맨 처음에 럭키 클로에를 사용하고 있을 때는 우선 에디가 없어서 사용했던 것도 있어요. 근데 에디가 나오고 나서 사용을 해봤는데 처음에 너무 힘든 거예요. 제가 생각했던 것보다. 그러니까 뭐 기술은 똑같이 생겼는데 뭐 판정이라던가 히트박스 같은 게 많이 줄어가지고 되게 힘들었는데 우선은 제가 그 전에 우선 전띵이라고 우선은 하면은 사람들이 대부분 럭키 클로에도 많이 생각을 하지만 에디라는 이미지가 훨씬 더 강하잖아요. 그래서 이제 저는 이제 그 우선 이미지라고 생각을 해야 되나 이제 그런 게 우선 먼저 확 완전 에디라는 걸 보여주고 이번 연도는 우선 그렇게 목표를 잡고 있어요. 그리고 이제 내년부터는 좀 더 럭키 클로에랑 뭐 다른 캐릭터는 잘 모르겠는데 내년부터는 우선 이번 연도는 완전 에디로 우선은 최대한 제가 피지컬을 끌어올릴 수 있을 만큼 끌어올려보고 그 다음에 내년부터는 아마 럭키 클로에랑 에디랑 좀 많이 섞어가면서 쓸 것 같아요.
So, people do usually remember me as an Eddy player, and as well as in Tekken 7, the earlier Tekken 7s, Eddy was not available. So that's why I had to pick another character, which was Lucky Chloe. She had a similar moveset to... She's an original character, and which had a similar moveset to Eddy. But people who followed me from the earlier days of Tekken, before Tekken 7, I was always known as an Eddy player. But it was just like... It was a kind of a shock to me when Tekken 7 was announced, and then Eddy was not there. So I kind of had to play Lucky Chloe because I had no choice. And then later on, when Eddy was added, I was quite thankful for it. But what also was disappointing for me was that in comparison to the previous version of Eddy's, this Eddy was not the best form, the best iteration of Eddy. Because if I get a bit technical, like things like the hitboxes that I was used to was not the same in Tekken 7. Wasn't as effective as I thought. So I had a bit of difficulties and went through a phase whether I should continue as an Eddy player.
Right.
But I also kind of remember that people do remember me as a traditional Eddy player in the past. And I think being able to push that image of whenever people think of Eddy, people will think of JeonDDing as well. That kind of links together. So that's why I kind of pushed ahead and continued to play Eddy and develop his new style that I have to adapt to in Tekken 7. So that was my initial goal when I was sponsored and when I was more of a professional Tekken player. So next year onwards, probably I will mix in the variables of playing either Lucky Chloe or Eddy more extensively. Right now, I think I'm mainly more of an Eddy player, but I didn't really think of playing a new character, but I think I'll have a balance of those two characters continuing on in my future Tekken tournaments.
That's a brilliant answer because it actually covers a lot of my questions about how you feel about your character. So you got Eddy and you've got Lucky Chloe, and playing the two, you feel like there aren't that will cover off. There won't be any weaknesses.
그럼 이제 질문 답변해 주신 게 굉장히 도움이 된 게 이제 다음 질문이 뭐였냐면 그 캐릭터 두 캐릭터를 사용하시면은 전띠님이 가지고 계신 단점이 다 커버가 된다는 말씀이신가요?
아니요, 그건 아니에요. 우선은 에디가 불리한 캐릭터는 러클도 불리해요. 똑같아요.
오케이.
근데 그거는 이제 제가 뭐 풀어내야 할 그거기 때문에 뭐 상성이 있다고 해서 솔직히 이게 이렇게 해서 이게 불리하다고 해서 절대 못 이기는 게임 자체가 아니기 때문에 충분히 그걸 극복해서 이길 수 있을 거라고 생각을 하고, 제가 원래는 맨 처음에 에디를 사용했을 때 잭한테 엄청 대회 때 많이 지고 아무것도 못하고 무기력하게 많이 졌거든요. 근데 이제 그것도 이제 지금 대회에서는 조금씩 좋아지는 게 저도 느끼고 주위 사람들도 그렇기 때문에 이게 아무리 뭐 단점을 보완하는 캐릭터는 아니지만 두 캐릭터가 충분히 극복할 수 있다고 생각을 해요.
So by having those two characters as my arsenal doesn't necessarily mean that it covers all my weaknesses. Because right now the meta is that if my Eddy is weak against certain characters, it is also weak to my Lucky Chloe as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but how Tekken revolves around is that even though you're possibly at a bad matchup, doesn't necessarily mean that it's impossible to beat the opponent. But I can see my progress definitely, and also some of my friends have been giving me some comments as well recently that in the past, if you check some of my older tournament footage, when I was faced against a Jack player, I used to be very helpless. I couldn't really do anything. I tried to it almost looked like I just wanted to escape the struggle. But time and time, I got more experience. I got a little bit better with the matchup, and now I'm actually comfortable to play that matchup now. And hopefully, it's something that I can continue to develop as a player to overcome those difficulties.
Yeah, so the attitude is basically, I don't need a secondary character. I will find a way to overcome this matchup.
불리한 상성이 있어도 다른 캐릭터에서 답을 찾기보다는 현재 가지고 있는 장점을 더 보완해서 그걸 커버하려는 심정인
우선
거죠.
제가 게임을 하려면 정말 좀 많이 제가 여러 캐릭터, 그러니까 에디를 하는 사람들 특징이 정말 에디 캐릭터 말고는 다 못해요. 이게 정말 특징이에요. 한국 사람이나 다른 외국 친구들도 보면 정말 에디를 하거나 에디 플레이어를 하시는 분들 같은 경우 다른 캐릭터를 정말 못 다루는 경우가 되게 많거든요. 근데 이제 그러려면 그만큼 시간도 필요하지만 저는 다른 캐릭터에서 답을 찾는 것보다는 내 캐릭터에서 답을 찾는 게 더 멋있다고 생각을 해요. 네.
So it is kind of a common ground for all other Eddy mains that it seems like they have a real hard time trying to play other characters because once they become comfortable with Eddy, it's like the transition phase is very difficult because I believe it's based on how the character is designed. And not just myself, but I see all these other Eddy players tend to be like that as well. They have a hard time trying to phase into another character, even if they want to learn it. So, but my philosophy is that I think it's always gonna be better to develop myself as an Eddy player to overcome the difficulties rather than trying to seek an alternative character to gain a shortcut to an easier victory. Yeah.
I also like the branding, like being associated with Eddy. I think that's really smart. Takedo is Akuma. Daigo was kind of still is Ryu, but even though that's another conversation.
선수들마다 자기의 주 캐릭터가 항상 그 선수의 이미지로 남는다는 게 굉장히 인상 깊은 것 같습니다. 예를 들어 뭐 스파게에서는 뭐 토키도는 항상 도키. 뭐 다이거 선수는 항상 뭐 류 예전에 뭐 류를 그런 식으로 전띵님도 이제 한 스타일을 꾸준히 하시는 게 굉장히 멋있는 것 같습니다.
Yeah, it's just smart. It's just really smart. I think it's really smart to become like the guy who's that character. The game itself right now, are you happy overall? Is there anything that you would like to see tweaked about the game in the future? Are you let me add to that and say, are you concerned about the balance patch?
현재 철권 7의 메타에 대해서 만족하시고 계신가요? 아니면은 뭐 굳이 보완될 점이 있다면 어떤 거를 먼저 우선시 하시는 거 같아요?
우선은 개인적으로는 그렇게 만족을 하는 편이 아니고 우선은 뭐 게임 쪽에서 선수들이 처음에 많이 느꼈던 게 우선 렉 같은 경우는 지금 많이 좋아졌어요. 렉 같은 경우는 굉장히 많이 좋아져서 환경이 이제 대회 환경이 많이 좋아진 편인데 우선은 제가 생각했을 때는 우선 밸런스 팬치가 철권이 제가 알기로는 작년엔가 F1 나오고 한 번 딱 했는데 그것도 이제 대규모 패치라고 우선 얘기를 했는데 리차오랑 한 캐릭만 그 캐릭만 조금 좀 좋아지게 바뀌고 나머지는 정말 조그맣게 우선 패치가 많이 됐거든요. 그래서 이제 제가 생각했을 때는 지금 철권 같은 경우에는 밸런스가 그렇게 좋은 편이 아니라고 생각을 하거든요. 우선은 대회만 봐도 확실히 나오는 캐릭터 맨날 나오고 우선은 이게 한쪽으로 많이 몰려 있는 것도 그렇고 우선 철권 쪽에서는 또 온라인 상에서도 좀 매칭이 좀 안 좋은 게 좀 많거든요. 뭐 핵을 쓰는 유저라던가 그런 유저들 그런 것들을 좀 빨리 해결해주면 지금보다 환경이 좀 더 좋을 것 같아요.
So the current state of Tekken, that in my opinion, I don't think it's at its best form just yet. If I have to delve into the technicalities, well, there was some issues in the early days of Tekken 7 that in relation to input lag. It did get better than before, which is fine. I think that was a great overall like upgrade that it received. In terms of character balance, like like when they announced the most recent so-called balance patch was like last year, and although they did mention it's a big patch, the only character that was kind of affected was Lee. In terms of adjustment, but all the other characters did receive some tweaks, but it didn't really delve that deep into the competitive meta at all. And the current trend in like competitive Tekken is that you kind of get to see the same character over and over in at least in like the top say 16 or so. So there's definitely a lean towards a favorable character when it comes to competitive play now. So I wouldn't say that's like the best form of balancing just yet. And even for those who are playing locally or like playing say ranked matches online, there have been increase of numbers of people using hacks, which are ruining the online experience.
승이 막 500승, 600승 이렇게 되는.
So you would see players who have 600 consecutive wins and which is humanly impossible. But I guess for some people that's what they like to do, which is not skill related. And while there are people who have no choice but to play ranked matches only, for them it's very unnecessary experience that they should go through, which is hard because some people cannot maybe only play and they can't really come out to events and stuff. So hopefully those kind of things can be fixed, and we'd like to see some sort of balance that will hopefully get to see more characters in tournaments in the future.
Solid answer. All right, so out of all the characters right now, are there any characters that you hate fighting against, that you absolutely despise?
현재 그러면은 대회 중에 이 캐릭터랑은 절대 대전하기 싫다라는 그 정도의 캐릭터가 있나요?
한 캐릭터요?
뭐 여러 캐릭터도 괜찮다.
많습니다.
뭐 굳이 뭐 제일 최강자를 뽑자면
뭐 잭, 드라곤오프, 카즈미, 폴, 이 정도? 이 네 캐릭터가 좀 많이 까다롭고 되게 많이 상대하는, 그러니까 풀에서도 되게 많이 상대하는 캐릭터들이어서.
So a lot of characters. Yeah. And like I said before, like the character pool is narrowed down to like the usuals because of the current balancing issues, which are Jack, Paul, Dragunov, and Kazumi. I see those characters from the first game until the end. So and they're all very difficult matchups for me.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot, especially Paul. I always hear about Paul. What about players? Are there any players that give you particular difficulty you would rather not play?
그렇다면 캐릭터 말고 특정 선수 중에 이 선수하고 하면 까다롭다 뭐 이런 거 있나요?
우선은 제가 생각했을 때는 세인트 선수가 제일 까다롭다고 생각을 해요.
Right now it's Saint. It's the most difficult player to play against.
그 사람이 이제 에디도 태그2 때 게임을 많이 해서 에디 캐릭터도 잘 알면서 또 잭이랑 상성이 좀 많이 있어가지고 상대하기가 많이 까다로워요.
So he has a lot of Jack. He's a Jack player. He has a lot of experience playing against Eddies since the Tekken Tag 2 days. And in terms of character comparison, Jack has way more tools to get away with in comparison to Eddy. So therefore, it's already a difficult matchup and a difficult player to play against if the opponent, like Saint, is like the master of Jack. So yeah.
So what is your approach when you come across a player and a character that is extremely difficult? What do you go away and do in order to become better and overcome that person?
잭 같이 상성이 안 좋은 캐릭터나 세인트 선수처럼 좀 이제 까다로운 선수분을 만나면은 어떠한 자세로 접근을 하시나요? 일단 게임이 시작하기 전에.
우선은 제가 이렇게 상대가 무섭거나 약간 까다로운 캐릭터를 만나게 되면 되게 게임이 소극적으로 돼요. 제가 원래 공격하는 스타일인데 약간 다른 캐릭터에 비해서 제가 원래 하던 플레이를 많이 못하거든요. 그래서 최대한 제가 원래 하던 플레이를 하려고 최대한 노력을 하는 편이에요. 우선은 최대한 대치 상황에서 겁을 안 먹은 거를 기본으로 두고 우선 제가 평소에 하던 플레이를 최대한 하려고 노력합니다.
So when I become aware that I'm gonna play against either this player or this character, is that I tend to play more safer than usual, which is not how I play usually because I'm usually the aggressive type. So I kind of become not fear, but I become narrow-minded. And I tend to not play how I usually play. So my current mind games is that I would have to somewhat force myself to play like how I usually play, at least, so that I can actually show what I have, because they'll be better rather than losing to an opponent without me doing anything. So that's my current approach at the moment.
Got it. Do you have a favorite player to watch? And it can be in any fighting game currently. And do you have a favorite player of all time?
철권이 굳이 아니더라도 현재 지금 굉장히 눈여겨보는 선수의 뭐 동영상이나 그런 걸 보시는 게 있나요? 또는 지금까지 격투 게임을 지금까지 격투 게임을 해오시면서 항상 이 선수는 존경하고 있다 뭐 이런 선수도 있나요?
그런 거는 원래 딱히 없었는데 저번 말레이시아 때 시안 선수를 보고 정말 이 선수 되게 멋있다라고 생각을 듣고 이때부터 팬을 해야겠다 라고 생각을 하고 있었어요.
So I really didn't have anyone in mind, but my recent discovery of this was at Malaysia was the FB Cup. I saw Sien,
Okay.
and I heard of his achievements in the past and what kind of things he had to go through to achieve, his current status. And immediately I decided to be his number one fan, and it was something very inspiring to me.
Yeah, Sien's very inspiring to me too. He's a huge supporter of mine behind the scenes and in front of the scene actually. But he's one of those guys. He's just awesome. He's just awesome. So I'm with you on that one. Are there any players that you have spotted as up and coming? I mean, you're an up and coming in a way. But are there any other players that you see, that you think will be strong in the future?
이제 전띵 선수도 역시 이제 어떻게 보자면 즐겜 하셨다가
네.
급격히 이제 방향을 바꿔서 이제 진지하게 게임을 하신 케이스인데
네.
전띵님과 비슷하거나 또는 뭐 지금까지 철권 이제 대회 다니시면서 이 선수는 나중에 정말 크게 되겠다라고 그런 선수를 목격하신 적이 있나요?
지미 트레인 넵스 선수. 예.
지미 트랜.
Okay.
미스터 납스였나? 네.
그러니까 그 선수가 게임을 정말 잘하는데 정말 뭐 주위에서 들은 말로 이제 정말 이제 뭐 게임 대회 나가는 거를 귀찮아한다고 해서 안 나가는 그 TW에서 지금 제가 알기로 한 번밖에 안 나갔거든요. 근데 좀 그 선수가 좀 더 많은 곳을 돌아다니면서 좀 더 좋은 모습을 보여주면 좀 더 좋지 않을까. 그리고 이제 브라이언 캐릭터도 이제 원래 무릎형이 많이 사용을 했는데 무릎형도 이제 이게 좀 대회 때 어렵다고 생각을 하고 많이 사용을 안 하는 캐릭터인데도 넵스 선수 같은 경우에는 그 캐릭터를 계속 하면서 대회 때 나갔을 때도 성적이 좋았고 그리고 이제 멋있는 경기도 되게 많이 보여줬거든요. 그래서 넵스라고 생각을 해요.
Yeah, so Jimmy Tran, aka Mr. Naps, from what I've heard, it's not that he's good or bad. It's not about that, but it's more of he cannot be bothered to attend tournaments. Currently, in his records, he only went to one Tekken World Tour event, and he performed really well. And he plays the character Brian, which is a very explosive character and very well known for the Korean player Nee, how he kind of is the character now because of his gameplay style.
Yes.
But even Nee currently had made a comment about the character in the current meta is that while he can still be very strong in the tournaments, it may not be most effective like it was before.
Right.
So he's also kind of contemplating whether he should continue with Nee. See, I told you he's the character. He should continue with Brian or not. But how Jimmy he showed his performance is that it's very exciting to watch his gameplay.
Yeah.
So if he was actually say supported by a team and was more consistent in his tournament placings, he would definitely be one of those top players.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he's very entertaining indeed. A lot of people out there want to be as good as you. So, can you in detail explain what type of training that you actually do on a daily basis?
많은 시청자분들이 전띵님처럼 훌륭한 선수가 되고 싶어 합니다. 전띵 선수분만의 그러한 트레이닝, 그러니까 격투 게임 트레이닝 메뉴라든지 그런 스케줄에 의한 연습 시간이 있거나 그러신가요?
그런 건 따로 없고요. 근데 최근 들어서 한 멜버른 대회 때부터 거의 철권을 많이 안 했어요. 처음에는 이제 철권이 싫어서가 아니라 스파를 하면서 정말 예전에 철권 했던, 그러니까 철권이 점점 이렇게 실력이 늘었을 때가 정말 재밌거든요. 근데 그때 느낌처럼 스파를 해도 이제 계급이 제가 이제 올라갈 만한 계급이 있잖아요. 이제 그런 거를 느끼면서 게임을 했는데 저는 이제 꼭 철권만이 아니더라도 다른 2D 게임이라던가 이런 다른 격투 게임을 하는 거에 대해서 되게 좋다고 생각하거든요. 우선은 뭐 철권이랑 다르게 심리가 뭐 어느 정도 비슷하지만 스파를 하면서 저는 좀 철권 실력이 좀 많이 늘었어요. 네.
Yeah. So, how do I put it? Since my tournament at Melbourne, Australia, Battle Arena Melbourne, I didn't really play Tekken as much until now. But it's not to do with I like or dislike Tekken. It's just that, funnily enough, I got into playing Street Fighter more, Street Fighter 5. So the story goes that I enjoy playing other fighting games because I can kind of share the same type of mind games into other fighting games. And although people do see the two games very differently, it's already, you know, difference between a 3D and a 2D game. I'm currently at a rank where if I be consistent at it, my rank will rise like in a very speedy way until it hits that plateau, right? But it kind of brought me back to how I started playing Tekken. It's like when you pick up the game for the first time, you can literally see your progress of getting better. And then later down the track, when you're at a professional level, that's when, you know, you kind of slow down because you know about the game so much already, there's not much room for you to learn. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm currently getting while I'm playing Street Fighter, because I'm learning so much about Street Fighter. It's very enjoyable for me. But then, of course, I do apply general fighting game fundamentals on Street Fighter, and that's actually helping me play my Tekken game better currently. So all the things that I'm trying to apply in Street Fighter in terms of mind games and psychological things and some of the fundamentals that I try to convert into Street Fighter, I can use all that energy to put back into my Tekken, and I'm seeing my improvement in Tekken as well. Maybe that was something that I was missing. I don't know if that's the right answer for me, but and I also always think positively about a player branching into other fighting game titles, since you can learn so much and apply that back into your main game anyway. So that's the current phase at the moment that I'm going through.
Okay, so you don't. We're going to talk about Street Fighter in a minute because that's really interesting. Because I was going to ask that anyway, but you don't have a typical kind of going to the training room to do various things. I don't know, whatever, like practice combos. What do you watch match videos of other players? Or do you watch your own match videos? Or are you just literally kind of got a bit of a natural talent and you just keep playing?
굳이 이제 특정 부분을 연습하시려 할 때 이 트레이닝 모드 가서 뭐 특별히 연습하신다거나 아니면은 뭐 온라인 동영상을 찾아보신다거나 아니면 혹시 자신의 이전 매치를 봐서 뭐 반성의 시간을 가지신다거나 혹은 재능이 뛰어나시다거나
그건 아니고 영상을 좀 많이 보는, 그래도 이 비행기에서 혹시 솔직히 시간이 너무 많아가지고 지금 막 영화 보는 것도 어느 정도 한계가 있고, 그래서 이제 대부분 비행기에서 좀 많이 하는 게 제가 했던 경기를 많이 봐요. 그래서 이제 이때는 이게 잘 먹히는구나 이런 거나, 아니면 이때는 내가 이렇게 좀 많이 당하는구나 이런 거를 보고 이제 또 상대별 습관 같은 것도 좀 많이 파악하는 편이고. 네.
So since I have a lot of free time while I'm traveling overseas, in the plane I do look back at some of my matches that were streamed.
Okay.
Yeah, so from there I can learn what things that I was weak against, so I can improve on that strategy, and also to kind of fish out the opponent that I played at the time, see what kind of habits that player has that I could exploit, things like that. So, I mean, in the past I usually would just watch movies on the plane, but now there's a bit of a limit to how much movies I can watch. So nowadays I'm actually studying my own matches.
Okay. And sorry, the reason I'm pushing on this detail is because people really do want to know, like with top players, like what exactly are you doing? So I'm just going to keep being annoying and keep pushing. And when you've done the thinking, when you've watched the videos and you've gone, okay, they're weak against this, but I'm weak against this, do you take situations into the training room and find answers or do you just think of an answer and then use it the next time you play?
이 질문을 집요하게 하는 이유가 이제 커뮤니티의 의견이 대부분 이 선수는 도대체 어떠한 특정한 행동이나 그런 연습을 했길래 지금 정도의 성적이 나오는가에 대한 그런 토픽이 굉장히 핫했거든요. 그래서 이제 물론 본인의 영상을 다 파악하고 이제 공부도 하고 하면서 그거를 그러면은 어떻게 뭐 이미지 트레이닝으로만 극복하시는 건가요? 아니면은 일일이 그 상황들을 다 이렇게 목록을 만들어서 뭐 트레이닝 모드에서 시험을 해보시다던가 뭐 그렇게까지 심각하게 하시나요?
그렇게까지 심각하게는 안 하고요. 그냥 정말 보기만 해요. 보고 대회 때 좀 많이 했어요. 그러니까 저는 솔직히 개인적으로 철권이 뭐 많이 집에서 많이 뭐 랭크 매치나 이런 게 하는 것도 도움이 된다고 생각을 하는데 저는 개인적으로 대회를 하면서 좀 더 많이 성장한 편인 것 같아요.
I think most of my improvements were just purely from tournament matches, whether it's in the pools or whether it's in the top 32s or whatever. Any sort of training at home or training in my comfort zone, I wouldn't really. To this day, I haven't yet tried anything very specific or anything like that.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I would play, say, ranked matches time to time, but it was more for just to get back into the groove, not really training for a certain purpose. But the most effective improvement that I can witness myself was just directly from serious tournament matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds similar to Punk actually. Like out of all the players in at least Street Fighter that I've interviewed, it's a more natural thing. It's a more like grinding it out, but thinking. Yeah, it's interesting. Everyone's so different, and that's why I'm always so interested in it.
많은 프로 선수들이 다 자기만의 그런 연습 스타일이 있어서 굉장히 개성이 있는 것 같아요. 예.
다 다르기 때문에.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty normal, I think, because everybody's different. So yeah.
Yeah. But you know, like so much of fighting games is like replicating other people. They often say like take somebody, replicate them, whatever. I don't think that most people could do this. Like you know, other people. Yeah, it's more like what I would call more of a natural, like. But yeah, it's a good thing. Okay, so how many hours a day do you spend playing Tekken? How many hours a day do you spend playing Street Fighter? You know, like give us an idea.
뭐 하루 일상을 지내신다면 하루에 몇 시간 뭐 철권을 하시고 몇 시간 스파를 하시는 것 같으세요 요즘은?
요즘이요?
네.
철권은 솔직히 말해서 거의 안 하고요.
네.
스파도 이제 원래 많이 했었는데 이게 해외 대회를 많이 다니면서 요즘은 게임을 못 했어요. 근데 그 전에는 정말 스파만 하루에 한 많이는 안 하고 한 4-5시간 하고 철권은 정말 많이 안 했던 것 같아요. 네.
So yeah, recently I haven't really played any Tekken at all, really. And
okay.
yeah, even before this, like if I had to like calculate a specific amount of time, like my true answer is not really played at all. For Street Fighter also I didn't play that much, but when I was really into Street Fighter I would play like 4 to 5 hours a day.
Okay.
But yeah, until now, like I haven't really physically played as much games as I have. Yeah, so
there's a whole bunch of people out there right now going, I hate you for being so good.
답변 때문에 시청자분들이 이제 좀 개사기인가 보다. 개사기 캐릭터 아니냐 그런 의견이 나올 수도 있는데.
그거보다는 저는 그 전에 철권을 해왔던 그게 많아서 근데 철권 같은 경우에는 제가 생각하는 건 지금 최상급 선수들이 철권을 좀 뭐 안 한다고 해서 실력이 떨어지거나 그러진 않다고 생각을 하거든요. 근데 이제 2D 게임은 조금 달라요. 얘기 들어보면은 2D 게임은 정말 좀만 안 해도 이게 확 티가 난다 이렇게 생각을 하는데 철권 같은 경우는 약간 느낌이 다른 것 같아요. 이게 게임을 안 한다고 해서 실력이 확 줄거나 그리고 가끔은 이게 실력이 늘어나는데 도움이 된다고 생각을 해요. 철권을 계속 하는 것보다는 조금 쉬었다가 해주는 게.
So yeah, I mean, you have to understand, right? Like players like myself and some of the other Korean players, these guys have been playing Tekken for most of their lives. And I think it's a little bit different to how Street Fighter is being played. But for Tekken at least, just because you didn't play for a short while, it doesn't directly relate to you performing bad.
Yeah.
Like, because we've been playing for ages and ages, and it's like kept into our system. I think it is a little different to Street Fighter, because even hearing some opinions from Street Fighter players that if you don't practice for a little bit, the skill gap is greatly different from those who actually continue to practice. For Tekken though, I think it's even better for you to take a break, and that'll help you even more.
Sure.
I think that's just how it is, how I feel it, that is. But I did hear that it was significantly different to how you would train in Street Fighter that would greatly affect you in your next tournament.
Yeah, I had a conversation with Tom Cannon earlier where he said the same thing about Guilty Gear, and that the characters over the years just don't change. Like, you'll always, like, if you're a Soul player, you'll be able to pick up Soul and just keep playing. I think Street Fighter obviously went through a big change. So I get that. All right, so let me ask you, do you ever feel pressure? Like, you're sponsored now. Do you feel pressure or not? And if you do feel it, how do you have methods for dealing with it?
이제 한 팀을 이제 대표하는 선수로서 대회에 나가시면은 특별한 뭐 긴장감을 얻으시거나 또는 뭐 외부에 대한 압박 그런 게 있어서 뭐 경기에 영향을 준다거나 그런 게 있나요?
그게 처음에는 조금, 그러니까 작년 마인드는 뭐냐면 대회를 떨어지면 다음에 대회 잘하면 되지, 이 마인드였는데, 이게 확실히 스폰이 붙고 나서 이게 어떻게 보면 경비를 지원받는 거잖아요. 그럼 그만큼에 대한 이제 이 선수에 대한 뭐 성적이라던가 뭐 퍼포먼스라던가 뭐 이것저것이 좋아야 되는데, 이게 성적이 안 좋았을 때 이게 좀 이렇게 오는 부담감이 확실히 크더라고요. 근데 이게 그 부담감도 이제 지금 같은 경우에 좀 많이 괜찮아졌어요. 근데 이제 처음에는 이게 되게 부담감이 많이 심했어요. 근데 지금은 이제 요즘에 그래도 게임이 좀 잘 되고 또 어느 정도 성적도 나오고 뭐 그래서 지금은 괜찮은데, 처음에는 이게 작년에 했던 마인드랑 조금 많이 달랐던 것 같아요.
Yeah, so before I was picked up by UYU, my mindset was generally, if I didn't do well this time, I'll just do better next time. It was as simple as that. But since after become a representative of a team, and I'm technically receiving support from those who expect me to do well, so therefore naturally I did receive some sort of pressure, like just not from them directly. It's more of me as a person to having to perform as much as I got supported for. So therefore it did kind of affect some of my performances, but thankfully I was able to keep it consistent, and so my recent performance has been always being consistent on the top placings. So I think I'll have to focus on being more consistent rather than thinking about these like certain strictness or certain areas that may affect my performances.
Let me slightly change the question. Do you ever feel nervous? You don't look like someone who does, but do you ever feel nervous, and how do you overcome that?
이제 카메라에 비치는 모습은 항상 밝고 웃고 계셔서 안 그러는지는 모르겠는데, 마음속으로는 굉장히 뭐 불안하거나 뭐 심적인 그런 고민을 가지고 계시거나 그런 게 있나요? 다음 경기를 앞두고?
우선 에보가 이게 아무리 제가 이렇게 거추로 이렇게 그래도 정말 큰 대회에서는 사람이라면 긴장을 하게 되잖아요. 그래서 뭐 다른 뭐 TWT 대회도 당연히 긴장이 됐지만, 특히 이 에보 같은 경우에는 정말 이 무대를 꼭 다시 서보고 싶다는 그 간절한 마음이 좀 더 많아서 다른 대회보다는 조금 긴장이 돼요.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only human too, so I do get nervous, especially for EVO, because like I said earlier, I've been on the top 8 before, and that kind of built up to this year where I also really want to at least place top 8 and try to chase all the way to the victory. I feel more desperate than the other TWT tournaments I've been to. So it is definitely nerve-wracking at the moment, because I may regret if I don't perform well. So definitely I feel that nerve at the moment.
Okay. And you got any techniques for like dealing with it?
굳이 긴장감이라든가 그런 걸 덜 하기 위한 자신만의 방법 같은 게 있나요?
Go to the gym maybe.
뭐 그런 건 딱히 지금 뭐 딱히 그런 건 없고 좀 물을 많이 먹는 것 같아요.
Okay. So I don't have anything that's special, but I try to get hydrated as much as I can.
Hydration, yeah.
So I think it helps definitely.
Yeah.
So I always have a water bottle beside me.
Yeah,
게임을 하다 보면은 긴장감이 조금씩 풀려요.
Yeah. So while playing, when I'm hydrated, I do notice the feeling of my nerves easing down. Yeah. So
Okay.
hydration is very important.
Okay. You heard it here. You heard it here. That's the that's the super secret weapon. It's not that secret because everybody has those huge water bottles. All right, Tekken DLC. There's a rumor that there's going to be a second DLC season. Do you care? Because you have Eddy, or is there a character that is like a crossover character from from another game, or maybe a returning character that you would like to see?
이제 많은 이제 루머가 있는데
네.
철권 소식 중에서 뭐 새로운 DLC 시즌이 있을 거다라고 하는데 그런 거에 굳이 상관하나요? 왜냐면은 주로 에디를 사용하셨으니까. 그리고 만약에 새로운 캐릭터가 나온다 하면은 다른 프랜차이즈에서 오는 캐릭터와 예전에 이 철권에 존재했던 캐릭터가 나온다면 어떤 거를 더 선호하시는?
당연히 기존에 있던 캐릭터를 훨씬 선호를 해요.
네.
그 이유가 뭐냐면 그 전에 있던 캐릭터 중에는 개성이 정말 뚜렷한 캐릭터도 되게 많고 인기가 정말 많았던 캐릭터도 많은데 굳이 다른 캐릭터에서 먼저 그렇게 끌어와서 이거를 하는 게 맞는 건지라도 생각을 좀 많이 해요. 우선은 기존 캐릭터가 다 나오고 나서 DLC가 나왔다면 지금보다 반응이 더 좋았을 것 같아요. 제가 생각했을 때는. 근데 이제 뭐 당연히 그 회사 입장에서랑 제 입장이랑 차이가 나기 때문에 이건 제가 뭐 함부로 언급할 수 없는 거고, 그리고 기존 캐릭터 이 DLC가 나오면은 왜 힘드냐면 장품 캐릭터, 지금 장품 캐릭터 되게 많잖아요. 기존에 이게 이 철권 시스템이 아닌 정말 이해할 수 없는 시스템들이 많아서 이게 적응하기가 정말 힘들어요. 처음에 고우키도 그랬고 지금 기스도 굉장히 힘들어요. 그래서 이게 좀 힘든 게 뭐냐면 이 캐릭터가 철권 베이스, 완전 철권 베이스가 아니라 약간 다른 캐릭터에서 왔기 때문에 그 베이스가 많이 묻어나기 때문에 상대하기가 처음에는 정말 좀 깔깔어운 것 같아요. 뭐 녹티스라던가 다.
Yeah, so I honestly think if I have to make a side, that I would rather see the classic Tekken characters making a return versus seeing a new, guest character. Because even to this day, I personally think that if the Tekken guys released all the traditional characters first and then released the crossover characters, Tekken would receive more positivity than anything else, because in a competitive sense for the traditional Tekken players, having to adapt to a non-Tekken mechanic was something that was very difficult at the beginning, and to a certain extent almost to unacceptable level, because they shouldn't exist in Tekken. So there's always been talks about Akuma and Geese, how they have fireballs and FADC mechanics and all that. So it's very difficult to adapt to that, which can be overcome, but at first it didn't feel right.
Sure.
And Tekken should definitely consider releasing the traditional characters in comparison to the guest characters.
Gotcha. But it's not as exciting. That's marketing, and that's why
I think I understand the marketing point of view. They have a different opinion to what I have, but I strongly believe that Tekken will gain more fans if the traditional characters, because I feel that there are still some characters missing that had very unique and great characteristics that character had at the time, and I almost didn't understand why they don't exist right now, because even in my story before, my main character Eddy came out later. So I would really want to see the traditional characters come back soon.
Gotcha. Now, let's go back to Street Fighter, because I heard that you at VsFighting, you beat John Takeuchi with Kami in the group stage, I think. I don't even think it was on stream. So apparently you're really good at Street Fighter. Maybe tell me a little bit about, when you started playing Street Fighter and how you got so good.
최근에 이제 영국에서 열렸던 버서스 파이팅 대회에서 방송을 타진 않았지만 존 타케우치 선수를 이겼다는 소식을 듣고 스파를 굉장히 잘하시는 선수 측에 들어가신 것 같아요. 스파 같은 2D 게임은 어떻게 접하게 되셨고, 또 이걸 나중을 대비해서 이걸 또 전문적으로 하실 건지.
처음에 접한 거는 우선 한국의 다른 스트리머 분이 철권을 배우고 싶어서 제가 철권을 알려드리고, 그분이 스파를 잘했거든요. 그래서 그분한테 스파를 배운다는 개념으로 맨 처음에 컨텐츠적으로 했는데, 이게 처음에는 그냥 철권 엄청 하다가 방송 끝날 때쯤 스파 조금 하고 이런 식으로 좀 하게 되는데, 에보 재팬 때 그때가 제가 처음으로 해외 대회를 나갔을 거예요. 근데 그때 이후로 좀 열심히 했던 것 같아요. 제가 이유는 잘 모르겠는데, 그때도 그래도 나름 좀 성적이 뭐 막 좋은 건 아니었는데 나름 괜찮았었는데, 그 뒤로 조금 스파가 재미가 있어서 좀 많이 했고, 그러니까 제가 생각했을 때는 철권도 뭐 철권이 당연히 메인이지만 스파도 지금 제가 뭐 지금은 아니지만 뭐 1년 뒤나 제가 하고 싶은 건 이제 철권이랑 스파랑 둘 다 탑8을 둘 수 있을 정도로 실력을 만드는 게 지금 목표예요. 네.
Yeah, so at first it wasn't really to learn Street Fighter. It was to help another player to play Tekken, and apparently he was really skilled at Street Fighter at the time. So I thought, this might be a great idea for my future stream, where I teach the guy Tekken and he teaches me Street Fighter. So ever since that happened, what happened in my regular stream schedule is I would play Tekken for most of my content, and then just before I turn off my stream, I would tell my viewers, all right, I'm gonna play Street Fighter a little bit, and then I'm gonna turn off. Yeah. So that was kind of the routine thing that was going on, and then eventually I started to enjoy the game more, and then this year's EVO Japan, earlier this year, it was my first official tournament that I actually entered Street Fighter, and then I started seeing the competitive side to it, and then I got more experience, and then from then I kind of somewhat got more into it.
Yeah.
So I increased the number of gameplay hours per day to invest in Street Fighter. So maybe not right now, where I'm still progressing as a Street Fighter player, as well as I enter more tournaments that's coming up in the near future. But hopefully in the next year or two, I want to I set a goal to get top 8 for both Tekken and Street Fighter in one major. So that's my current goal at the moment.
Right, and you got some good. You can practice with Valoran, NL's on your team,
Yeah.
and maybe Infiltration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I'm
분들이 굉장히 센 분들이 많이 계시네요. 예.
I'm excited to see that. A top 8 would be pretty amazing. A top 8 in Tekken and in Street Fighter. I think that's unheard of, to be perfectly honest. Like, you're lucky.
사례가 없었죠 아마. 예. 예.
아직
I,
없어요.
I mean, maybe you know actually Punko with Akuma.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he didn't come top 8 in Street Fighter though.
No, in Tekken. Oh, maybe not in Street Fighter.
He was mentioning those two games top 8 in that same
Oh,
tournament.
same tournament?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. I didn't think you were. Yeah, okay. Are you interested in any of the new games coming out? You know, there's a lot of new games. Everyone from Tekken talks about Soul Calibur, but you know,
이제 갑자기 급격스럽게 많은 격투 게임들이 이제 출시될 예정인데요. 새로 나올 게임 중에서 특히 눈여겨보는 타이틀이 있으신가요?
우선 소울 칼리버 같은 경우에는 제 게임을 많이 안 해봐서 잘 모르겠고, 그 요즘 뭐 대난투 이번에 새로 나온다고 그 닌텐도로 하는, 제가 그 닌텐도가 있어가지고 아마 대난투가 나오면 그것도 조금 해보지 않을까 싶네요.
So, although as a Tekken player, I don't really have much experience in Soul Calibur, so I'm not too sure about playing that. But I heard of Smash Ultimate, and I already own a Switch.
Oh.
So possibly if the game comes out and if it's interesting, I'll try it out.
Jesus Christ! Like from a year from now, it's gonna be like JeonDDing, like Smash top 8, you know, Street Fighter top 8, Tekken top 8. That would be pretty amazing.
예, 만약에 그렇게 3관왕을 차지할 수 있으면은 도전해보는 것도.
몰라, 저도 10년은
So, I might have to train Smash for like 10 years. I'm 10 years behind
Actual training?
for Smash.
No, I'm joking because it doesn't sound like he trains like in the way that we train, or you train. Video games in general. Do you have any games that you play for fun that aren't fighting games? And do you have a favorite game of all time?
격투 게임이 아니더라도 즐겨 하시거나 주로 하시는 게임이 있으신가요?
요즘 많이 하는 게 마리오 테니스
아,
좀 즐겨서 하는 편입니다. 되게 게임이 해봤는데 생각보다 되게 재밌더라고요. 네.
Yeah, Mario Tennis. It's surprisingly very fun to play, and that's one game that I'm putting some time into right now.
Okay. All right. So once they turn that into an esport, that's another one. Let's move on and ask about your life because you in the Core Gaming video you talked about bodybuilding. So my question really is, what kind of things do you do outside of pro gaming?
이제 코어의 게이밍에서 제럴드 분이 인터뷰 하셨을 때는 이제 게임 외적으로 이제 뭐 이제 운동을 많이 하시는데 운동도 그렇지만 이렇게 게임이 아닌 활동이나 취미 생활이 따로 있으신가요?
제가 지금은 원래 친구들이랑 뭐 자주 뭐 취미 활동이라고 하긴 그런데 뭐 술을 마시는 거나 뭐 그런 것도 원래 자주 즐겨 했던 편인데 지금은 이사를 와서 지금 잘 못하는 편이고 주로 취미 활동, 약간 취미 활동이라고 하기에는 운동 말고는 우선은 운동밖에 없는 것 같아요. 지금은 그거랑 뭐 이제 요즘은 좀 뭐 쇼핑을 한다던가 이런 게 조금 옛날에는 좀 많이 했었는데 이게 대회를 많이 다니다 보니까 약간 게을러지더라고요. 막 추리닝도 맨날 막 귀찮다 보니까 입고 되는데 또 어느 순간부터 좀 내 자신을 더 꾸며야 되겠다고 생각을 해서 요즘은 쇼핑을 좀 더 이렇게 하는 편이에요.
Practically, like working out would be my to-go activity that's outside of gaming. But in relation to what I said before regarding how I have to represent myself and be well groomed, I took interest in shopping that would, kind of make me look better, I guess. Yeah. So if I'm not working out at a gym, I would have some interest in what kind of products I could use, or maybe it could be clothing that I could, maybe look nicer and represent myself, and also have to kind of, behave and be shown at a public place. So taking great interest in shopping. And to be honest, because now I have to commit to certain schedules to fly to events, do tournaments and things like that, and for preparations, I don't have as much free time as I used to have. I mean, of course, I still love to go out with my friends, go for dinner, go for some drinks and things like that. But I also, at home, I relocated my place of living, residence. So naturally, those activities had to be kind of stopped and more focus on my tournaments as I continue to my exercise and working out. So yeah.
Okay. Sounds pretty well rounded. That's great. And social, do you have a quote or a mantra that you live by?
혹시 전띵님만의 생활 철학 또는 철칙 그런 게 있나요? 예.
저는
아니면 누구의 명언에 감동받아서 그것을 따라간다 뭐 이런 거.
우선
예.
제가 원래는 좀 되게 하루를 길게 썼거든요. 근데 이거 게임을 하면서 조금 많이 게을러졌는데 우선 제가 정말 좀 하루의 패턴 같은 경우를 뭐 얘기를 하자면 좀 하루를 아침 일찍 시작해서 좀 길게, 약간 뭐 대부분 뭐 지금 어떻게 프로게이머를 하는 직업이 한국에 있을 때는 뭐 막 엄청 일찍 일어나는 직업도 아니고, 뭐 솔직히 제가 일어나고 싶을 때 일어나고 자고 싶을 때 자는 직업이잖아요. 근데 이제 그런 것보다는 정말 좀 규칙적으로 하루를 이렇게 하루하루를 정말 생활하는 게 저의 이렇게 마인드라고 해야 되나? 네.
So it's something I'm currently struggle as well because as a pro gamer right now, I guess you're not strictly bound to a certain schedule to say when you have to wake up or when you have to go sleep, and as long as you have time, you can practice, right? But I used to be very consistent with using my hours more efficiently and effectively during that entire 24-hour cycle. Like I would wake up early in the morning and I would like to use as much hours to contribute to my productivity, whether it's gaming, whether it's exercise.
Yeah.
And then when I'm satisfied, then I would go to bed and then of course wake up early next morning and then, you know, recycle that routine over and over. And that is something that I would like to keep. Nowadays it became very difficult because while traveling to different, you know, countries, time zone matters, and I have to adapt to like new environment, new food and things like that. So like I said, because gaming doesn't strictly bound you to a schedule, I did get a little lazy, but I want to get back in track soon.
Okay. So the way that you live, it's important for you to have a routine and discipline basically. You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
슈와츠네거가 했던 행동과 비슷하네요.
아 그래요?
예.
근데 이게 정말 좋은 것 같아요. 그러니까 잠은 늦게 잘수록 피곤해서 어느 딱 시간대를 정하고 한 6시 7시간을 자고 하루를 좀 길게 보내면 확실히 느낌이나 아니면 그 내가 뭐 자기 전에 뭐 정말 아무것도 안 할 때는 정말 그냥 자고 있다가 눈 뜨고 조금 밥 먹고 또 자고 막 이런 식이거든요. 근데 그게 정말 안 좋다고 생각을 하거든요. 저는 개인적으로. 그래서 좀 더 이렇게 하루를 좀 알차게 보내고 싶어요. 네.
Yeah, so having a very productive day is my priority at the moment, because I know the fact that if I, like, say, even if I did wake up early and I kind of try to think of what to do today and I have nothing that's come up to my mind, I would just go back to sleep immediately, and then already I've ruined my pattern of, you know, daily living. So therefore, like, even if you do sleep late, as long as you get, say, 5 or 6 hours of sleep a day, I think that's good enough. And then you wake up early, start your morning fresh, do whatever you have to do, whether it's duties, whether it's your task for education or school, like work. As long as you're doing something in a routine schedule, it's something that I follow to this day.
Yeah. Routine's important. Something I'm working on. Okay. If you weren't a pro gamer, what would you be doing?
현재 프로게이머가 아니셨다면 어떤 직종이나 어떤 일을 하시고 계셨을 것 같으세요?
아마 그 전에 했던 헬스 트레이너를 아마 계속 하고 있었을 것 같아요.
Think most likely continue my personal training work that I used to do. So yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were a personal trainer?
Yeah.
이전에 트레이너.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
같이 하다가
So yeah, I did training and gaming
근데
together
Yeah.
at one stage.
근데 이게 대회가 많다 보니까 한 달에 막 3번 4번 외국을 나가는데 그거를 감당해줄 회사도 없고 이게 한번 대회를 나갔다 오면은 일이 안 잡혀요. 그래가지고 정말 고민을 많이 하다가 이 게임을 해야겠다라고 생각을 하고 이번 연도부터 작년 9월부터 그만하고 지금 게임을 하고 있는 거예요.
So this time around last year was when I still were like a licensed trainer for like exercising and working out while I was playing and practicing Tekken. But as there are more events, like there could be up to like 3 or 4 events a month. The schedule got really tight, and as well as like if I did make those travels, no gyms would ever hire me. And even if I was working privately, I wouldn't be as active to be known, so that nobody would, you know, give me the trust of being a good trainer. So I made the big decision around September last year to like stop doing the trainer work and commit more into Tekken, and it's unfortunately, because of like I'm only human, therefore I can't really do everything perfectly. So
You should train all the other players while they're traveling with you to every tournament.
혹시 여행 다니면서 다니시는 게임 선수들을 트레이닝 해보시는 건 어떠세요?
그것도 뭐 나쁘진 않은데 우선 언어의 장벽이 너무 크고.
Not a bad idea, but to do that, I would have to also learn their language so that I could communicate.
A lot of international players, yeah. All right, so let's wrap this up. This has been a pleasure. Do you have any messages for your followers or fans out there? You seem to have a lot of US fans as well.
시청해주시는 분들께 간단한 소감이나 뭐 다음에 하실 일정 그런 거 간단히 말씀해주시면.
우선 이렇게 인터뷰를 하게 돼서 되게 영광이고요. 저를 좀 더 많이 알리고 싶은 것도 좀 있고, 그리고 이제 뭐 앞으로 이제 TWT가 반년이 지났고 이제 반년이 남았는데 앞으로 그 전에 했던 것보다 더 멋있는 경기를 보여드릴 테고, 에보가 얼마 안 남았잖아요. 하루 이제 내일부터 예선이 시작인데 우선은 최대한 열심히 해서 꼭 탑8을 들도록 하겠습니다.
So yeah, I'm very honored to do this interview with you. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and of course, I will always perform better than before as a professional gamer, and I really appreciate all your support. And EVO is literally tomorrow from this interview date, and that's when the competition will get fierce. And like I mentioned before, I'll definitely try my hardest and achieve getting that victory on the weekend.
Right, well, by the time this interview comes out, people will know what has happened. Good luck, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Burnout Fighter, thank you for interpreting. It's been awesome, and we'll say goodbye to these guys. Bye, guys.
Thank you.